Good day. We are going to start off with exponent laws, and we are going to look at the different laws in more than one video. We're going to start off with the first law, which is when the ground numbers are multiplied. But remember, laws are there to make it easier for us. If we don't know our laws and we can't apply them, then the sum becomes very big and cumbersome. So we need to know our laws in order to work it out. Now, if we start off with law 1, actually they're not numbered, but we always call it law 1. It's the one that says if you have ground numbers that are multiplied with each other, but the ground numbers are the same, then you add your exponents. So it becomes x to the power 3 times x to the power squared. They are both ground number x, therefore I keep the same ground number and I just add my exponents. This is the short way. This is the exponent way. If you want to do it differently, just to show you how we got to this law, let's write it out like how we know exponents is. X to the power of 3 means there are 3 x's that are multiplied with one another. And then x squared means there are 2 x's that are multiplied with one another. Therefore, it gives us x, and now you say there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. In other words, it is x to the power of 5. That is the different way of doing the same sum. This one just looks neater and it takes up less space, and when our powers are very big, the second method becomes too large. We can't always incorporate this, or if you get numbers and different ground numbers, then the second method gets too big. So let's remember, the law actually states a to the power m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. This is the official law. Let's apply it to 1 or 2 sums. Let's say I give you 2x3y times 3x squared y to the power of 3. Then my answer is 2 times 3, which is 6, x to the power of 3 plus 2, and y to the power of 1 plus 3. Remember, the ground numbers, I can only put those together that are the same. So that's an x and that's an x, and this is a y and that is a y. So I can only put the x's together and the y's together, and then my final answer would be 6x to the power of 5, y to the power of 4. Okay, now remember, the main thing here is that they are not, you don't see any pluses or minuses in the sum itself. There's one term There's no x plus y or 2x minus 3y. There's no pluses or minuses in the sum itself. The only time I put in the plus is when I apply the law and I add the exponents. If we go to the second law states that if you are dividing, I can write it differently. I can say a to the power of m on top of a to the power of n. And that then comes to a to the power of m minus n. This is the law. Now remember, in this case, we are dealing with division. So if I give you 6x 5y squared, and I ask you to divide it with 3x squared y, then you will say it is 6 divided by 3, which is 2, x to the power of 5 minus 2 times y to the power of 2 minus 1, which gives you 2x to the power of 3y. Now, if we do it differently, the extended method, we do the same sum, right? We say 6x to the power of 5y squared divided by 3x squared y. You will get 6 times x, 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 x times y times y. Can you see this is very bothersome to write it out? Okay? Divided by 3x times x times y. And now we know that if it is the same at the top and the bottom, we can cancel out. So this x cancels with that x, this x cancels with that x, and this y cancels with the first y. So my answer in the end is 6 divided by 3, which is 2, and there are 3 x's left, and there is 1 y left. That is the extended method. If we use the exponential method where we apply our laws, which is this one, it looks much easier and it's much quicker, especially if our sums becomes more complicated. Now remember, exponents are done in grade 10 and grade 11, but they are asked in grade 12 without us revising them again. So make sure you get the basics down now, so that when you get to grade 12, it does not present problems to you, because we're not going to repeat it in grade 12. I hope this makes sense to you. Remember, when our 2 laws that we covered in this video is the first law, which says a to the power m times a to the power of n equals a to the power of m plus n. Ground numbers are the same, the ground number stays the same. The exponents are added whenever we are multiplying between them. Okay, and the second law stated that a to the power m divided by a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m minus n. And this is, once again, the ground numbers stay the same throughout, and my exponents are subtracted. We're going to look at the next two laws in the following video, and then I will give you this some definitions that you have to know, and then we will look at a few sums so that you can see whether or not you are able to do this. Goodbye.